What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, New Comic Book Day Eve. And of course, first show since Terrificon. And yes, still got some bags under my eyes, man. I am still freaking tired, but it was a good time. Met a lot of people, so it was a good excuse, I guess. Friday probably got to the hotel at 4 a.m. Saturday probably around 2:30, and then Saturday we were home at like midnight, 1 a.m. So it was late weekend, but we made it. Still got my kidneys. Didn't end up in the hospital. No, COVID, food poisoning. So it was a good time. I hope everybody had a good time if they showed up. Let's get it started though. Hottest comics of July, co-hosted with my guy, fresh from getting his internet fixed, Rocksteady. What's going on, man?
I feel like a new man.
Hopefully you don't freeze, man.
I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, hopefully you don't freeze like 6 times. I think that's the record for you. 6 times you froze last time?
And then I just gave up. I had to call him back up. Thank you, Hyper. Thank you, Nemesis, for that.
Yeah, big shout outs to them. Finally got to meet Justin, Wesley, 3 Men in the Basement. Who else did we meet? Michael the Beast, Copy 801. There was a few people that we got to meet, man. And that was a lot of fun. Wesley, I want to apologize right now, sir. I'm sorry we didn't take a picture. I was going through my pictures when I was posting them, and I'm like, I didn't get one with Wesley. So lucky for me, you only live like an hour away, and there's a few shows coming up, so we'll make that happen. But yeah, Wesley was out. It was really great to have that Canadian presence at that show, man. It was awesome, dude. It was really cool. So, Pressable Defects, those guys are just crazy. But yeah, it was a good time, man. Next year, you're going?
Fingers crossed, man. I want to. That's the plan.
So next year, the lineup so far is this is how many people said they're in. Myself, I'm going for sure. You, BC, Vancouver Comic Junkie, 4 people that have already committed. Now, I'm going to hold them to it, and I'm going to hold you to it. But yeah, definitely going to be making my way to Connecticut next year for sure, man. I had a lot of fun, so can't wait.
Yeah, that's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Happy for you guys. It looked like a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, it was so much fun, man. Like, the best part was, and I was actually explaining this to Vancouver Comic Junkie yesterday when we were chatting. It was interesting because, certain people you just clicked with and, people that you've been talking to for a long time. It was just like one of the boys. It was like, you
knew each other in person.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it wasn't always just comic related. We were talking about life and marriage, kids, work, this, that. Like, it was a grand scheme of things. It wasn't just comics. And I like that because as much as I like this stuff, like, I can't talk about it just 24/7. But it was a great time, man. So, yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird not doing a show on Sunday, but we're back. It feels like I haven't done one of these in a while. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we're talking hottest comics of July. Usually this show really is one of those shows that, we kind of get to go back and kind of relive those moments where we either got FOMO, JOMO. Did we pay too much? Did we pay too little? Did we get 20 copies? Should we not have gotten 20 copies? Like, it's a lot. But it also goes to show you the fads and flavors of the month of July, right? So that's always interesting because the books that kind of get hot at like the beginning of the month, sometimes at the end of the month, you're like, that was this month, or like, oh yeah, that was hot. Sometimes we just forget because it's always the next book, right? So
the thrill of the hunt, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, let's say hello to the chat and then let's get the show going, man. I'm so pumped. This is the last week before we get a Marvel show, right? Because I'm pretty sure where's the chance?
Andor first.
No. What?
Is it She-Hulk first?
No, Groot starts August 10th.
Groot,
She-Hulk starts the 17th. Andor is moved, I thought. I thought they moved it to September.
Oh. You know something more about Star Wars than I do. I've been busy. I've been traveling too.
Listen, that's what happens when you hang out with Nemesis, man. Yeah. So yeah, see,
you got that.
All right, let's say hello to the chat and then let's kick it off. Dan Delatorre, you say silver. You got the gold, my friend. Welcome. We got a Canadian in the house, and he's taking home a medal. Bleeker, my guy, he's taking home the silver.
I watched Bleeker's CGC video that he posted today. He got some bangers. Those
I haven't seen it yet. I just got home from work, so please don't ruin it for me. I gotta go watch it. Uncanny Swag in the house with the bronze. Miguel is in the house. I'm back on IG, so I claim the digital medal. And a warm welcome to everybody. What's going on, man? Wesley, yo, it was awesome to finally meet you at Terrificon. Dude, it was a pleasure. Actually, he scared the shit out of me because I was going through a box and he's like, Newbie. And I was like, wow, what's up, man? Like, it was, just one of those, like, there was a lot of people, man. So, yeah. And I'm still not used to people saying Newbie because, I told everybody that I met, I was like, hey, it's Joel. So, but it was great. It was great meeting Wes, man. Brandon's in the house. What's going on? Mr. Vancouver. Vancouver Comic Junkie's got some videos coming out soon. So make sure you guys go check them out. Also, the king of VHS. VCJ. It's got a V in there. Wait for the sirens. North 49. What's up, dude? What's going on, man? Hard Knocks. Eat the party. Be at the party. Also, Hard Knocks, I will be shipping the book out probably Thursday. Or not the book, the shirt. Okay. Just got home late, so I couldn't do the postal office. But I do have your shirt, so don't worry. Mr. Comic Ozzy's in the house. I didn't get a picture with anyone. I was so into the con, I didn't even think about it. Well, now I don't feel so bad, so I'm okay. Fan Expo at the end of the month. I can't wait. It's close to like my wedding, so I don't know if I'm gonna be there fully or what day. Usually I go Saturday, but I might maybe go Friday or Sunday. I haven't decided yet, so we'll see. Bleeker, if you want to go to Terrificon, you got a seat. We got to get a Canadian caravan going down. Yeah, I would recommend flying though, just because it is a long drive. So yeah, and you see interesting people along the way. Comics, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? Como's in the house. Let's do it again this weekend. Come down to Chicago for C2E2. Como, maybe next year, but I won't be able to make it.
It is con season. Like, it is weekend at like.
Well, it was San Diego, Terrificon, and then C2E2. So,
and that's
Baltimore,
like everywhere. And it's cool for everybody else because it's digital now too. Like Whatnot had a huge presence at all of them between Instagram and like the 3 men in the basement were going like live every like hour. It seemed like,
oh dude, it was
you got
insane.
a good feel for it, and it was really cool.
Yeah, they were like, Noob, we're doing a live show at 8. Come on, and I was like, guys, I'm in line to sit down for dinner at 7:30, or like I'm like eating. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to make this show. But yeah, it was a good time.
So Otto looks like he has so much energy, just terrific energy. Is it all the time?
Dude, just nonstop. And it's not a bad thing. It's just he's just
I know.
Like on, awesome. Boom. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's a gem. Mr. Comic Dude's in the house. Hey everyone, wish I could have been at Terrificon, but who knows? Next year? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you better, dude. Like, it was a great time.
All the kingpins should come.
Yeah. Uncanny Swag, it was fun with you on Spine Ticks last weekend. Thanks, bud. No problem. Just Cruise in the house. Just Cruise. Actually, Just Cruise. I'm trying to get Just Cruise to come. I'm gonna try to waiver him to come next year. Because it's gonna be a good time, man. Cruise is one of my favorite people to hunt with. Just simply because I'm always like, yo, can ask him if they'll do this price, and he does.
Everybody knows that about you now.
Yo, even Justin Nemesis Prime, he had to do some stuff. I was like, yo, tell him I'll give him 100, and he did it. So I was very thankful. But yeah. All right, so that's everybody. All right, let's get it going, man. Hottest comics of July. Are you ready, sir?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Really quickly, just before we get going, anything in particular you're looking for tomorrow on New Comic Book Day, sir?
What's that Sesame Street homage one? That one looked badass.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Somebody in the chat help me out what it's called. I think that's going to be the sleeper, and there's the sirens. Who called that in the chat?
Oh, yeah.
49?
North 49. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, man.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I heard that Edge of Spider-Verse should be cool. I really like the Scotty Young variant from that. And then there's that Harley Quinn homage to Detective Comics.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm looking for.
Dave, Survival Street.
Yeah, Survival Street is what it's called. That's the book.
Oh, Survival Street. Oh, I thought he was making like because all the sirens in the background.
Maybe it just is true to my heart. Too close to home.
It's too close. All right, well, let's get it started, guys. Hottest comics of July 2022. I just want to say that just in case, 10 years from now, somebody's watching this video and they kind of know. Newbie was kind of somewhat cool or into comics in July of 2022. So
you can show your kids one day.
Yeah, I could be like, look, I was on the internet. And they'd be like, Dad, no one's on the internet anymore. It's all holograms. Like, oh, fuck. All right, let's start it off. First book. And we're starting off with a DC book. So don't even say noob. You never talk DC. Big shout outs to my guy, Mr. Black Crown Comics, because he was the one that told me to go find these. And I was able to pick up 3 and I was able to sell them for $30 each. So I was pretty happy with that because this book is not $30 anymore. First appearance and cover of Fail Switch. Okay, I was right about one of them. Week of release, yeah, like I said, $25 to $40 Canadian. It says 2. I did get 3. Currently, though, it's not selling anywhere close to that. It is actually selling basically for like $10-12. It's a cool villain, I guess, but I mean, we've seen this song and dance, especially with DC, especially when they do these like design color variants, right? I mean, I was lucky that somebody wanted to pay $35, but at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't as hot. You know what I mean?
I do like the design variants from DC better than the ones that Marvel does. I also think DC books are a lot lower ordered right now than a lot of the other books. So if one makes a list or they find out it's a first appearance, it's very easy for a store to sell out because they're only ordering 4 or 5 instead of 10 or 20. So I think with a lot of the DC books, fail safe. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
What's the guy's name? Sorry, what's the guy's name?
Fail safe. That's right.
Fail switch?
No, fail safe.
Shut up. Flamenco gang stand.
What? Flamenco. Yeah, so, and DC, you're right. They do the same old song and dance, and it seems like there's a new character all the time. And there probably is just as many new Marvel characters, if not more. But the Batman and those characters just don't seem to go anywhere. Like, what was that one? The Joker King or whatever that one was, or Robin King.
Yeah. I still got that. I actually found that in a $2 bin this weekend. It's perfect.
That was the hottest book, and they just don't go anywhere. It's like Cates is writing these characters.
Yeah. Big shout outs to Comic Forge, by the way. I got to meet him this weekend. He was a gem. He was beautiful to talk to. It was actually funny because I was walking by myself on Saturday, and then all of a sudden I just hear Matt and Guy go, you know anything about like YouTube channels? And then I was like, and it was them. So yeah, it was beautiful, but it was finally great to meet those guys. Hell of a time with them. Man, I could have a beer with those guys every day of the week. I don't know how well that would be for my liver, but yeah, great people, man. So it was a pleasure meeting them. Yeah, I don't know. I see the song and dance, man, about these characters like Clown Hunter, like all the ones that they've, even the Punchline one that they did.
Punchline, Miracle Molly.
Yeah, it's
like
just
they were all the next big thing.
I still remember people going crazy about Clown Hunter. I remember people being like, yeah, I think he's gonna be one of my favorite characters. It's like, what? Maybe you just want to wear a mohawk somewhere. That's maybe what it was.
Long term, these books do have good investment value because they're low ordered, and DC seems to be doing things right now with their videos. I've heard great things about Super Pets, even so. Maybe in the future with the low order, and then especially like the B covers, which are $1 more. Shops are ordering even less. I'm seeing shops order like 5 of the A cover and then B of that cardstock one. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't pay a premium though.
Punchline isn't going anywhere. Great time this weekend with an awesome community. You're damn right, man. You're damn right. I hope you enjoyed those chips. All right, next book on the list is, and of course, Thor. Man, did I not finish this? Like, what the hell? I'm slacking. Strange Tales 138. Yeah, I apologize, guys. I was slacking. Strange Tales 128 or 138. First appearance of Eternity. Obviously, it did get a little spike. Because the character did show up in Thor. Interesting enough, though. Interesting to know that Valkyrie and Thor knew about this and they didn't ever bring it up, when thinking about like, hey, maybe we could go there and like save Tony Stark, or like, just even throughout the movie when they were thinking about, how to get rid of Thanos, that never crossed their mind to go there. So I really just thought that was interesting at one point. But then again, I don't know. This one was always kind of a cool book because you get into those like really hardcore cosmic, how are they ever going to do this, right? Like, I don't think Eternity could have its own movie, but we kind of know some of the forefront. It's kind of interesting that the character showed up. Future, maybe, seems that way, right? Everything cosmic. Prices, I apologize, guys. It looks like I did not finish it.
I pulled up prices.
Okay.
So Raws are going between 60 and 80 Canadian. It looks
That's
like
not
on
bad.
the regular.
That's not bad.
The last CGCs, there was a 6.5 that went for 195 Canadian. There was a 9.4 that sold for almost 1,800.
That 6.5 at under 200 would have been a steal.
Yeah, that was at auction. And then there was a 7.5, and there's a best offer, so it's crossed out, but it's obviously less than 360. So
it's interesting because like Wesley here, he says, I'm glad this book popped and is down now, but that's what we're seeing, right? And if you actually look at it, I mean, yes, it's not August 6th. I think the movie July 6th or 7th, Thor came out. So realistically, we're a month after, and you could see the trends already that all the Jane Foster, any character in Thor kind of gone down, right? So, yeah, Wesley's right. Now that it's down, he can go get it for his cosmic collection, and it's going to be a really good price. So
I think we're seeing the trend where the excitement happens obviously before the character is revealed.
Yeah.
Even if the character is awesome, there's always more excitement before, and people think it's going to get a second jump. We're not even seeing that second jump per se anymore. You know what I mean? There used to be two peaks, and now there just seems to be one like teaser trailer area. Then even books cool down before the movie. Like all those Jane Foster books didn't heat up as the movie was coming out.
No. The last 6 to 7 months, or 8 now because we're in July or August, you could actually say that the data would show it's literally the first teaser, and then that's kind of it. So I don't know. I've also just been kind of gathering a lot of information, and obviously we've talked about it for so long that right after shows or right after movies, that's realistically when to buy some of these books if you really want them, right? Like Black Panther, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a book I want. It's an FF book I want. It's under 100. It's 2 digits. I'm showing off my math skills here, but at the same time, like, why would I get it now when all that everybody wants to talk about is Black Panther? It's a hot book. I'll just wait. Like, I really will, because it's a PC book. It's not a flip book. I'm not trying to buy it to flip. You know what I mean?
I think people who bought books on spec were trying to do it very calculated, where everybody put their book up for sale the week the movie comes out, but then the market becomes super saturated. So I think there's that as well, where there's less on the market leading up, and then it comes out and everybody thinks they're going to cash in.
Yeah. And Miguel is, he says something, and I say differently, right? You're late to the party. But when they announce things, that's when it's like, I go, I'm going over here, because that's the end. You know what I mean?
2 steps ahead.
It's the end. Yeah, you got to move on, right? So everyone's on Secret Wars. Guess what I'm on? You didn't catch that? You won't, because I won't tell you what I'm on. Yeah. But I'm done with Secret Wars. Unless I find it, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go in those bins and see if I can find a deal. 1, I'm not going to overpay. But 2, I'm looking for the next events and the next directions, right? I'm kind of staying away, because why would I overpay now? It just makes no sense. Just anything associated with the word strange tales, academy, doctor, etc. It's true. All right, let's go on to the third book. And this one, I mean, people laughed. People were like, oh my God, yeah, of course. But I mean, man goat bunny man thing. I can't remember what it was, but Green Eggs and Blam, Dr. Seuss homage, obviously, and the booty, of course, well received and wanted after release. Raw copies were selling anywhere between $80 and $120. It's a 1 in 10 ratio as well. But let's be honest, Dr. Seuss, those legs, that booty, basically, we got a recipe for success here, because if you were lucky enough to get this, which I don't think a lot of people did, 120 bucks Canadian. That's not a bad payday to get this, man. If I would have been able to get this and get 120, I would do that flip all day.
Who's ordering 10 Xenoscope books though, right? So I think that's where, I think if it were open order, we obviously wouldn't see that same jump. It was a 1 in 10, so I can't imagine there's like a couple thousand out there, like kind of max. But I don't know.
Which that makes it more, but Rocksteady, that makes it more interesting, the fact that it didn't cross that 200 threshold, because sometimes with those books, with those weird ones, right, especially a 1 in 10, you kind of see it get to that 200 mark, even just for a little bit, but at the same time, like it will hit. This one didn't, so I was a little surprised.
It's a content thing, and I think it's people who collect. I think it's going to be the same people who collect those Grimm fairy tales. Like some of those books go for mad money, and there's some cool.
Yeah, I'd rather just get Playboy.
Foster Thor one.
Yeah, I'd rather just get Playboy. It's way cheaper.
This
is what Newbie grew up with. The rest of us read the actual Dr. Seuss. Actually, I didn't read any Dr. Seuss books because I didn't know how to speak English until I was in grade 3, which that would have put me at the age of, I think you're 4 at JK, so JK 4, SK 5, grade 1, 6, grade 2, 7. I didn't learn English until like grade 8 or 8 years old. So yeah. I never really read any Dr. Seuss books, to be honest. Yeah. All right. Sticking with Thor. This one was a complete shocker. I know Vancouver Comic Junkie might be in here. I don't know. Swag. We've got a group chat. Mr. Ryan, Automatic Comics. Jake from Spec Tales. We talk on the daily. This book was super interesting. First solo, right? There's 2 solo series, but this one, grade 3. You were 13. 2 solos, right? I think one is an 85 and then this one's 82. So obviously this is the one. But this one was very interesting. Why? Because a 9.8 CGC was sold for $450 US. Nobody was picking this up, right? Unless you were a Hercules fan or you knew something, you weren't really picking this up. The fact that somebody went out there and bought, and this is coming, and this is the same conversation I had with Swaggle House and Chris. But even Swag was saying, he goes, the fact somebody paid that amount of money for a 9.8 of the first solo is so weird, because you literally could have had a 4.0 Journey into the Mystery Annual #1, which is his first appearance, right? I probably would have went for the first appearance instead of this first solo. This book has kind of dropped off since. $5 to $10 book turned into 40 raw. I don't know if I'd want this one in my collection, to be honest. And I'm not a Hercules fan. I think the character was really dorky. Like I don't see this being kind of cool at all. So yeah. What are your thoughts, man? And would you do the same thing? Would you buy the solo at 450 in a 9.8, or would you go and get his first appearance?
Oh, first appearance, 100%. I think everybody has those books that you've passed so many times in the bins for like 50 cents, $1, and then all of a sudden one day it goes off. Like this is that book that I have seen 100 times and I've passed over for $1. Even the Canadian price variance of this one. But a 9.8 in this is going to be incredibly hard. It has that black cover. The other thing too is, when you're younger and you only have like 10 bags and boards, but you have 20 comics, then you get a new comic and that one's better than one you have in a bag and board, and then the other one gets passed aside. I don't think anybody thought this was going to be of good value. So I don't think anybody really cared for them too much. With that being said, first solo of a B-level character in the Marvel Universe, he is a lot. He's in a lot of storylines, but he's just not A-level in Marvel, if you ask me.
Hercules is great. Beer drinking and fighting, he's the shit. I
already have Thor.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I had 4 of those newbie. I got them all for $1. Yeah, because nobody was picking them up, man. Nobody. The only reason I expect that book was because Hercules was in the movie with Thor. That's the only thing I can think of. And also goes to show you that if you're priced out of the first appearance, well, guess what? Solos are still making money. So if you're talking flip, if you're talking speculating and investing, don't be afraid to buy the first solo. Like I feel they're so slept on. Like I would rather the first solo than an origin.
Yes.
That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. It
That's
could go
me.
either way for me, depending how early and how many different books they were in before. Like if their first, say like Miles Morales, where their second appearance is their first solo, like I think that's a
Yeah.
great purchase. But Hercules had been in a ton of comics before this one came out, right?
Yeah.
That's where I think there's a difference.
Before we switch gears, big shout outs to Street Side Anthony, man. Humble man. You know, he came up to me, hugged, handshake. He was a gentleman. He was very polite, and you know, as I was excited to see him, he was excited to see me. It was a great time. He was only there for a day, so maybe next year or maybe sometime soon we can link up, have a beer, talk comics, you know, have a bite to eat, man. But it was great finally meeting you. Thank you for the sticker. I got a sticker, I got a pin, and I got something else. I got a few things. But he was a gem, great guy in the community. If you don't know Street Side Anthony, make sure you guys go check him out. Instagram, all that stuff. Go follow the man. All right. Next book. Man, this one pisses me off because I actually had a chance to get this, like for dirt cheap. 8 billion genies. Obviously, we know the craziness that was the 8 billion genies. Now, I believe they're getting the second print that comes out tomorrow. But everybody's going nuts. This is limited to 500 Super Mario's homage. Selling currently between $200 and $400 Canadian. I wouldn't pay that much, but if I had it, I would sell it for that much if I could get it. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, I would probably only buy it for a flip reason to begin with. But yeah, are you shocked? Are you surprised at this? I mean, I feel like these Super Mario or video game homages do tend to like kind of gander a few bucks, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's that Deadpool one. There's that Buckhead one that Ninth and Mel have been talking about. I remember watching it when they were talking about it when it first came out, and it's popping off. Yeah, so it's I like when books pop off after they come out, not because they're short printed or anything like that, but because it's a good story. And that's what this was. Like this was like really cool chaos. I was able to read number one. And then this like Bird City and Trish Forstner, like so this is from the same artist who did Stray Dogs. And it just like I feel like her and Bird City just have a thing and they just come out with the best books right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Street Side, man. That's really good. Now, this what's going on, man. How you doing, brother? All right. Mandalorian, number one, with its 650 exclusives, man. Like where to begin? I don't know. I mean, there's 6 first appearances. I was told. I don't know if that is actually true. Star Wars is usually a good bet. I was kidding by the 62. I think there was last time I checked, there was like 35 exclusives. You know, currently though, cover A is still at cover price, man, in Canadian. You know, some of the other exclusives, some of the ratios are where the money is on that. But again, I mean, I'd be
No,
okay
really. They're
grading
just
one of
going
these.
for ratio, like
Yeah.
25 for your 1 in 25 and 50 for your 1 in 50 because of all
But
those store exclusives.
but let's remember something. There's a Star Wars is a smart bet, man. Like look at High Republic Adventures, you know, High Republic, you know, all that stuff. Like it was cover price for a while, but like get those things graded and it's like $200 a pop. Like it's
Well, even
crazy.
more so like movie and TV show adaptations, because to tell the story, you need to incorporate all those characters. So usually with comic books, they like to introduce one new character and then another new character like many issues later. Whereas these ones like The Force Awakens or any of those Dark Horse episode 1, 2, 3, like Attack of the Clones has so many Jedi first appearances in it. I think that's a real sleeper play for Star Wars, is getting these adaptations. But with this, it was just so, there's so many out there. And so what do I say? If there are still the first printing on the shelves, you got to look to the second printing, because shops aren't going to order many of the second print because the first ones are still on the shelves. And I don't believe there are any incentive ratios for the second print. So I think that's where the play is going to be.
We know
on
when
these
the second
Mandalorian books.
isn't second print on FOC this week?
I think it's just on the FOC that just ended.
No, the one that's coming up.
Is it?
I don't know. I would have missed it. I didn't do any FOC last week because
I'm pretty sure I ordered it. So
God,
it would have been yesterday's or today's.
Got an extra copy.
It's still on shelves, so look for second print.
Yeah, that's true. Still on shelves where he's at. Yeah.
But with this coming out, also the first Mando cover started to spike a little again.
Yeah. Yeah. Wesley's got a good point too, though. It seems like people still consider the magazine the first appearance, even though, what do we say? We always bash those people that say magazine is the first one, right? Because a magazine is not a comic.
Well, I think there's a difference. So if it's in a comic format like Rocket Raccoon or Star-Lord, I'm cool with that being a first appearance. But if they're just on the cover and there's no comic book content inside, you could call it an early appearance, whatever, but it's not a first appearance.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then Hulk 180 is the first appearance of Wolverine, and the annual for X-Men, I think it's 14, is the first appearance of Gambit.
If that, right? No, it's more like Foom would be the first appearance then of them. Yeah, because it's not actually a comic in there, right? Like 180 is a little different.
Yeah, it's still 181, so it doesn't matter. It is what it is.
It's argument time.
It's not argument time. It's not argument time. Yo, you know what I forgot to realize is this book was on the list. Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 4. I apologize for the freaking picture. Iron Cat series, that kind of spiked. You had just found one. I think Justin found one when we were at the con. I think he found issue number 12 for $2. But it's crazy to me because this Tamara Blake chick is, the one kind of rolling in the suit and, causing some issues there. But a $2 book, again, turned into a $40-$60 book. This is Moon Knight 2. This is Frogman. This is whatever you want, a book that a lot of people just passed up time and time again. And it shot to $40-$60. Long term, nope, not for me. If you bought it, if you overpaid, congratulations. I hope you like the book. I hope it's in your collection for a while. I don't know. I'd love to know why you bought it. Actually, I wouldn't, because I don't know.
I don't know. I think validity-wise, this one has more to it than like the first Frogman, say, because Tamara Blake could be ongoing, and Iron Cat, like there could be a little bit more to the story. So, like it's gonna fall. I think it'll end up in that $20 range, but it's gonna still be a key. Whereas later on, we're not even gonna see Frogman as a key, right? The only issue I have with this is very heavily printed era. Also, there are a lot of Spider-Man collectors out there. So people who are trying to get every Spider-Man book already have this in their collection, and they aren't selling it either. So what's actually on like eBay or moving, I don't think is a good representation of how many of these are actually out there.
Yeah. I'm surprised. A few people in the chat are saying, "Oh, I've never seen this book." Wesley's saying, "I've never seen this book before." Comic dude, it won't stick. Same, never seen it. That's weird. Interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, this thing like popped off and was on top 10 list for a while when that I think it was like 3 weeks ago when that Iron Cat series actually kicked off, right? Because everybody was under the impression, oh, this is her first appearance. Like, no, this is her first appearance, right? And then when you do that, then you get the people that have literally found this book for nothing kind of say, oh fuck, I can get $40-$60. I'll take it.
But those Black Cat books are going for that price too.
Yeah. Frogman, we're at least going to see on the screen. Tamara
For
Blake.
one episode, probably half of it. Then
That
he's never
Frogman
going to
thing
show
is
up in
probably
another
a
comic.
commercial in the fucking movie, man. The only reason because she was dating, I got that. Whoa, hold on. Let's slow back. Only reason because she was dating, I got that book because her Aunt May, Newbie, because Aunt May was dating a gangster. Oh, okay. I've seen it just okay. Big shout outs to Biggie Shacks in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Yeah, I was surprised, man. I think everybody knew about this. I'm shocked that people didn't know about this, but yeah, a lot of people were still overpaying, and that's just the way she writes, right? So we'll see. Did you have this book?
No, I did.
Okay. Your personal, can I ask personally, do you think this has legs, or is this just going to be a $5 book next month?
I think it'll settle around the $20 mark. I do think you've opened up a little bit of a can of worms for like Iron Man collectors, because there's kind of a new book to get to add to your PC, and there's the ones that are in the Spider-Man collections aren't going to move. I'm not going to put it in my collection, but I think be patient. You'll find it for $5. But on eBay, I don't think it'll
Why
really
would you
go
even
too far below
want
20.
this? Why would you even want this? I don't know. Just weird to me. All right, one that I think a lot of people are going to have, and this is getting like ridiculous now. Like, I don't know if people are just faking sales or if we're just hyping up or we're just bored and trying to make money. But X-Men #1 from 1991, classic Magneto cover, trends moving towards nostalgia, right? That is the thing that we always hear collectors say, nostalgia, nostalgia. I bought this because of nostalgia. I'll fall right into that trap because Earthworm Jim was one of the first shows that I actually watched when I came to Canada. And I would love nothing more than to have Earthworm Jim in my collection. It means something to me. Those people close to me kind of know a story with that show personally with me. So yeah, it's got a lot of, more to me. So I understand the nostalgia. But this one, we're just going a little too far, right? Because this should be something that everyone has or you find it everywhere because you literally do find it everywhere. Finding a 9/8 condition is obviously tough, just like any book. But 9/8s are still only selling for 120 to 150. Newsstands are selling between 300 and 600 Canadian. But again, that nostalgia, everybody's kind of, especially with X-Men kind of coming, and this one kind of heated up just as Miss Marvel was finishing, right, with the mutant stuff. And then everybody was like, oh my God, we get X-Men. Not to mention the fact that it was already leaked and we watched it, but X-Men 97 is coming out. They showed the characters, but now people are saying, oh, okay, well, all those X-Men keys are really like expensive. So now I'm just going to go for nostalgia. This is nostalgia. I don't see this thing being $1,000 book because it's so overprinted. Almost everyone has one, but at the same time, I get why people are going after it. If you can get 120, 150, I mean, shoot, I would sell it right now. To be honest, I'd be okay selling.
First things first, Ozzy, I still have that newsstand one of this for you. I'm sorry to do that on your channel. But I think this is a wall hanger book. So like people who have their collector caves or whatever, you put up all those connecting covers together on the wall in a 9/8. 100% nostalgia play, no rarity to it. Probably a ton out there that could be sent in for 9/8s. Also, I think Star Wars 1, the Marvel, is now the highest printed comic of all time. And I think
Wars 1?
the not the original Marvel series, but when it came back to Marvel, I think there are more copies of that than any other book possibly ever printed. And I think it broke the record. But yeah, I think everybody's gonna have one in their collection. But you can find it raw for $1, or you can get a 9/8 for 120. I'm watching Spider-Man 1 go for the same price as that silver variant. Yeah, 100% nostalgia.
I think you're wrong, BC, but that's just me. If you want to agree, if you want to, disagree, come on the channel. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Didn't X-Men 1 get 8 million printed? Yeah, but that means that everyone on the planet should at least have one. and only a selected. Oh wait, no, that's billion. Never mind. Shoot.
And there's 6 covers, there's 5 covers, however many covers.
I know I pick them pretty well, Dan. I really do. It would be
there's
cool
a lot of
to
different
line.
covers too, so there's only going to be
Yeah.
like 2 million of each, I guess. But
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that I am nobody to tell anybody. You know, if that's nostalgia for you, if this book is nostalgia, I just think it's a little funny how all of a sudden, like BC said, we do have the CGC signing, but then also, you know, the X-Men stuff. A lot of X-Men keys are kind of out of reach. So what do people go for? Nostalgia. Excuse me, nostalgia. So we'll see. I don't know. I hope nobody's out there thinking I'm gonna make $1,000 off this, because I do not see that happening. But hey, we've had worse things happen in the world. I mean, we had a Moon Knight show, so could happen.
You can't let things go, eh?
All right, guys. Last book on the list: Black Adam #2, The Virgin. Crazy. The 1 in 50. Crazy. The only thing that's not crazy about this is the fact that this is the first appearance of White Adam. Yes, White Adam. I've got no idea. I got nothing, man. Even when this was announced, even when we were talking about it, I was shocked. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to say with it. I'm very confused with what they're trying to do. Especially because, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to find the words. I can't, man. What are your thoughts?
They're still on the shelf, not the 1 in 50, but the A covers are still on the shelves here.
Yeah.
Which surprises me, but I think shops ordered more because the movie's coming out. 1 in 50, I think it's lazy when they just do a virgin for the ratios, and I don't like that. I want a little bit more of a chase to that, because you can still kind of feel like you have it with just the regular open order. Black Adam is going to be a lot of fun. Maybe this will get a little bit bigger. Who knows what'll happen, but don't expect like White Adam in the movie or anything like that. This isn't going to blow up a huge amount, but yeah, we'll see when they start coming back from CGC how it goes. Speaking of tomorrow too, I was watching Dollar and Popcorn Culture last night, and they were talking about Shazam, and that might be a book people want to grab.
That's the one with the chick on it, right?
Yeah, new Shazam.
Why? What did they say? Sorry.
I think that's her. Like, she just got the powers, the Shazam powers, from the Wizard.
Interesting. I'll take into consideration, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. So that was the last book on the list, guys. Hottest comics of July. Some books, you know, newer, some older, some kind of. You got FOMO, JOMO. Maybe you picked up 50 copies of some. Maybe you picked up none and you regret it. To be honest, the Eternity. Oh my God! Wow, I couldn't say that. That one, I kind of hate the fact that I don't have. That one's a really good one, but other than that, the list didn't really surprise me. I didn't really have a lot of FOMO on the other ones. So yeah, I don't know. And I'm not really a fan of like chasing a book like when it's like $2 forever and then it just jumps to 100. Like, I get it could be out there, but I'm not gonna chase it. I'm not gonna take a time off work to, I remember seeing it here. Like, it's just lost, right? So it is what it is. But you know, and that comes to mind with, you know, that Spider-Man book. It's the same thing with Spot, right? I think it was in June. Spot just kind of took off, right? I had the same vibes with that one, man. I don't know about you.
And then that wrestler, that Friendly Neighborhood book with the wrestler guy who's gonna have a movie. Remember, there was like 7 and 8.
El Muerto.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, but yeah,
now he pronounces one correct.
What do you mean? That's his name. That's his name.
Yeah.
It's in Spanish. We're good, man. I'm good. You mean like Wonder Man? No, but you know what? Wonder Man has still got like some
Wonder
heat
Man
on
is a
it.
big character, yeah.
Newsflash. It's a shit. I don't see, every time Chris says this, I don't know if I should be yelling it or he's yelling. Like, I can picture him just yelling at the computer screen. But newsflash.
It's gonna rain.
It's a shitty week for hot comics. So says new technically a month. Just saying. But yeah, no, this week, new comics, I don't think there's much, man. Spider, Edge of Spider-Verse. I think everybody should pick that up because there's a few first appearances. There's the connecting cover, which has the character on the cover, and we talked about that like 2-3 weeks ago. It should be no surprise. But I mean, I think everybody and anybody's picking it up, so I don't know if you're gonna make
Store exclusives on that
millions.
one too.
Yeah, so I
I'm
don't
about
know.
the Scotty Young on that one.
Yeah, so we'll see. But like you said, books that have been $1 bin books forever until as of late, Wonder Man. Yeah, 100%.
But is anybody getting that Wonder Man book to put in their collection, or are they just getting it to flip it? Like, why all of a sudden are you a Wonder Man fan, and do you want it in your collection? Like, I get there's news and stuff like that, but news doesn't make a fan.
I've been going to cons and shows since 2010. So 12 years. I have never seen a Wonder Man cosplay. I've never seen anybody say they are a Wonder Man fan. I've never heard anyone say to any dealer, "Hey man, do you have any Wonder Man?" Never seen or heard anybody say they should make a Wonder Man movie. Just never seen it, never heard it. For a week or maybe like 3 days, everybody was a Wonder Man fan, which was surprising, but
next year at Terrificon, can we all go dressed as Wonder Man? Like in Big Bang Theory when they all showed up as Flash, but we'll all be Wonder Man.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's interesting. You do it first.
All bulk Speedo costs for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that I don't think I will, man. I don't think I will. By that time, like we should have like a year from now, we should have what? Secret Invasion. We should have Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot, Halloween special, Black Panther.
Armor Wars.
What?
Is Armor Wars in that amount of time?
No, I don't think it's going to be done. Ironheart. So there's going to be interesting new characters. Loki 2. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see kind of the characters. I will say at Terrificon, didn't really see anything like kind of crazy. Some dude was like Carnage, a few Thors, one Batman. There wasn't that many like manga and anime like characters like around here, so that was like
we really noticed that at the Toronto Con, eh?
Yeah, that was like massive. Yeah.
I didn't recognize 95% of the cosplayers.
Mm-hmm. Here, it seemed like everybody was characters that I could relate to. Also, there was a big sword booth, but like not as crazy as in Canada when like it was like packed.
Swords and mystery boxes.
Yeah, there was no mystery boxes, which I thought was interesting.
Good.
So, but it was a good time. Yeah, quick show, Wes. Yeah, I think it's just because we said our piece and then we go, and me and Rocksteady are pretty comfortable talking. We just
good flow.
Yeah, it's a good flow. Rocksteady, let people know, man, what's going on. YouTube, Instagram, whatnot, TikTok, OnlyFans. What's the case? What's going on with Rocksteady?
Only OnlyFans these days, but yeah. No, you can find me at Rocksteady Collectibles on Instagram. Every once in a while, I'm doing shows on Whatnot still. I had one the other night. It was pretty fun. Rocksteady Collects on there. But yeah, find me in the Newbie Verse.
Whatnot, maybe this week for me. I might have a small sale, but we'll see. I have a bunch of new slabs that just came in, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Trying to sell, but at the same time, I'm going to be selling in October at a show, so it's going to be a lot of good selection there. Sunday, we'll be back at it. Show 102, new comic book day. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't make it. And then there's probably going to be a big announcement on Tuesday. So tune in for that. Is it a good announcement? I don't know. If it's a bad one, I don't know. We'll find out. But
an announcement.
There could be an announcement come Tuesday that could shock the YouTube and comic book community if you follow me. That's all I'm going to say. And that's pretty much it. Any last words, Rocksteady?
No, thank you all. I'm happy I didn't freeze a single time.
Yeah, the over-under, I set it at like 4.5 at least. So it's pretty good, man.
4.5 at least. 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 4.5 at least.
Under. Big shout outs to Ultra coming in. What's going on, brother? How you doing? All right, guys. Thank you so much, chat. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on the rewind, don't forget Newbie, Rocksteady, Instagram, YouTube, whatnot. Go follow, go support. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys Sunday. Later.